Greetings, Starfighter. Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zoor and the Kodan Armada. Get ready? Prepare for blastoff.
Victory, Death Starfighters. My name is Carlin Jones, and this is a Starfighter full movie podcast. And today we are going to be watching the animated family comedy Zootopia. Normally I say what year it's from, 2016, but I kind of just messed that up. But today I have a very special guest. I have lost count how many times she's been on the podcast, mostly because she has recently been canceled. Hello, Noor.
Oh,
How are you
God.
doing today?
I'm good, and I have not been canceled.
You haven't?
No.
People
You
change their minds?
love doing, no, you just love doing movie reviews with me. So I am back by popular demand.
Okay. So Zootopia is a movie I have never been interested to see, even though my brother reminds me every other month to watch this movie. He highly recommends it. He said I would love it. He says it's funny, it's great animation, great overall message. Everything that you can possibly do to praise a movie, he has done that. But I don't know. I just never gravitate towards it. And then you as well. You said you were never interested to see this, right?
You say, no, I never was interested in seeing this. I remember, like, when it came out, like, obviously, I remember, like, the name Zootopia does ring some bells, but never really cared for it. And, like, I remember, like, the movie came out in 2016, as we said. Like, back then, I didn't really care too much about animated movies, so it just was never on my list to watch.
Right. And I feel like, especially, I want to say from like 2013 to like 2019, maybe so, how many animation movies were coming out was like ridiculous. I feel like the movie industry at that point figured out the formula of how to make animation movies without having it taking such a long process to do it. So we were getting a whole bunch of animation movies that were both, some would say good and some are just, or more than most of them are absolutely awful. But I don't know. Personally, I've kind of fallen out of love with animation movies due to the fact that I'm just sick and tired of seeing 3D animation. I I thought I would like the look coming out of the 2D world of those old like
Mhm.
what's that movie called? All dogs go to heaven, and uh The Rescuers, like just movies like that. I thought, it would be great to see those in 3D, but I don't think it's aged
Yeah.
well. All these,
I
3D movies.
I just I just don't think that any of the animation movies are like, I guess, really catching my eye. And like I don't want to say that animation movies are all like, made for like the younger generation, but to some level they are. And as I'm getting older, like they're not really attracting me. But there has been like a few, and we were talking about this before, like Life of Pets. I found hilarious, and I
Yeah.
did watch that, but that was like, I thought it was hilarious. And recently just watched Encanto and
Encanto.
Encanto. Oh my God, I can't believe I said it wrong
No one can
after all
pronounce it.
this.
No one.
Um, I think because that one was really more like, magic and stuff like that, and um, like I'm not trying to say like I'm into magic, but like into like crystals and energies and stuff like that.
Oh,
It
you are
was
into
like
that.
really relatable. I am. So like watching that movie was quite fun and enjoyable, but like nothing really else has, made me want to watch anything that's coming out that's new.
Right, right, right.
Just
And for
don't
those
really,
at home,
yeah.
not to mean to cut you off, Nor, but for those at home who don't
Um,
know Nor, she's very interested in energies and crystals and things of that. So much so that we often text each other, and I joke about going over to her place and stealing her crystals and putting bad energy in them. And I feel the anger in you, Nor, when I say things like that.
Yeah, because just don't touch my crystals. If anybody in like out there that's listening to this and is into crystals, you can totally relate because my crystals are my energy, and if anybody else touches them, they will absorb your energy. And it's
Hmm.
not as easy as just going and cleansing the crystal because there are some crystals that will just cling and hold on to that energy. So now that crystal is yours, and I have to say goodbye to it, and I don't want to.
Oh,
Like I just
good.
want to,
Then I can get a free
my
crystal.
crystals. Don't. No, 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 don't touch my crystals.
Well, I
Do
can't wait to
not touch
talk
my
about more
crystals.
about crystals during the movie.
Hmm.
But one thing I will say right before we start this film is that because the more you talked about Secret Life of Pets, it now made me realize that I think I've fallen out of love with animation movies is because what 3D animations are today, it's too difficult to gauge if it's going to be a good movie, right? It's kind of like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a really good analogy of like something whereas you can watch reviews on it, you can do your history on it, but or do you like your research history on it, but at the end of the day you're not
Hmm.
going to know if that thing is good unless you put time and effort into it. And I feel like that's what 3D animations are because too much of them, I would say 90% of animation movies look the same. They have the same
Yeah, they
animation,
do.
they have the same motions, they have the same kind of I'll say plots, stories, characters, all of this stuff. Now, granted, I've kind of fallen, when I say I've fallen out of love with animation movies, Pixar movies are definitely the ones I kind of stopped watching, mostly just due because of lack of representation. But as of now, they've came out with like Soul and Coco and all that stuff. But I mean, that's awesome that a
Yeah,
lot of people
Coco.
resonate with that stuff. But it's too late for me. It's way too late for me to join the train again.
Yeah, I kind of fell out of animation movies. When you just mentioned Coco, I do remember. I think like I did want to watch that movie. That did look interesting. I just never got around to it. So,
Mm.
and then like now knowing that it's like on Disney Plus, or I could just download the movie. I still just never really do it.
That's another
So
thing too,
I'm just very
accessibility.
just very eh.
Yeah, that's another thing
Yeah,
too. Accessibility with these animation movies make the value a lot less. Very much so.
yeah.
So
But I also don't
Starfighter.
know like if I was younger, would I watch them?
Oh, that's true.
Because like now that I'm older, right? Like I do have other movies on my list that I want to watch, and it's like an animated movies are like definitely not like a top priority. There's that too.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying with that. Yeah, more
Yeah.
stuff we can
Okay.
definitely get into.
All
Well,
right. Let's start this movie.
all right, Starfighter. So we're going to get started with this movie. If you would like to watch Zootopia with us, you can find this movie on Disney Plus because it is a Disney movie. For anyone who wants to know, Noor search Netflix Canada for Zootopia, and with no luck, she did not find it.
Nope. Netflix Canada sucks compared to the U.S.
Well, that's something we'll definitely talk about too. So, Starfighters, we're going to get started with this movie in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so let's talk about this Netflix thing
Hmm.
because I remember when
I just
Netflix
think that
was a
they should
thing.
be.
You,
Yeah.
you said what?
I just think that Netflix should just be the same thing, accessible to every single country, kind of like how Disney Plus is. Like mine and your Disney Plus is the exact same, but our Netflixes are different. Why? What's the purpose? What's the point?
Um, I think that's due to, and you know what? I kind of like that idea, but only if Netflix can make up their mind what they want to be for the rest of the film industry. Because when Netflix first came out, it was just this thing where it's like, oh my God, I can watch a Disney movie here and I can watch a DreamWorks movie on here. and then also watch, just all these different movies are all in one spot. You don't have to buy the DVDs for. That's what Netflix identity
Mhm.
was at first. But then they try to change up their whole format and say, no, we make originals, when only, I would say, 20% of their originals are actually good. And the rest of them are like
Oh
just
my god,
really,
Netflix movies.
yeah,
Netflix
yeah,
movies suck. There's like a few hidden gems that are actually pretty good.
exactly, exactly. But I would actually appreciate that if Netflix was like this huge company where no matter the region, no matter what country it is, it's its own
Mhm.
thing. Whereas you still have your basis of maybe like movies or shows from different networks that are on Netflix, but you have a bunch of original content from that country that you're watching it from. And Netflix is kind of like this
Mm,
studio bases in that country that can film a lot of different stuff. I think that would be amazing if they did that.
I see. Yeah. Because like sometimes it's like whenever I want to watch something, like I'll. I mean, this was before. I don't do this now, but I would Google where I'd be able to watch it, right? Like, is it available on Netflix or not? And it said that it was. And then when I would go on my Netflix, I'd be like, well, I can't find it. And I realized it's on the US one. So it's always annoying that how, like, I would understand maybe continent by continent, like if North America had different things than Europe, but like
Hmm.
United States and Canada, like we're I don't want to say that we're the same thing, but we are literally next to each other. So what's the point of between US
We're
and
not the
Canada?
same
Our
thing,
Netflixes
nor
are different.
our weather is a lot colder.
We don't even get me started with that. But like, but you get what I mean, right? Like, I would be okay with like if in like I said, Europe was different, or like in Asia was different or whatnot. If it was different to like continent or like bigger regions. But
Mm.
United States and Canada, like, come on, like, how are we having completely different Netflixes? And not to mention the fact that a lot of movies and TV shows are filmed here. Like, what the hell?
Mm. Yeah, I can see that.
Like, how do we not have access to watching those? Whenever before Netflix bought like the VPN companies, or like they stopped them working, I used to change my VPN to be into the United States so that I could watch United States Netflix.
Mm.
It was like a good run while it lasted. I watched all my shows when I could. I love that the carrots have faces.
They do? Where?
Not those ones, the stuffed animal ones that were at the game.
Oh.
This is like a fair, right?
I find bullying in movies so funny because they just over exaggerate everything.
Oh my god, my audio is off from the movie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. But I think that's because freaking mine's called Zoo. What is mine called? Zootopius?
Mm-hmm.
Topi? Yeah, Topolis. I don't know. Maybe because it's a different name it has. I don't know.
I can't believe he assaulted her. Yo, what the fuck? They didn't do anything?
Yeah. Oh, she got the ticket.
Fuck these sheeps. How did they not do anything? We outnumbered him.
Right?
I'll be damned if that was us, Nor. If you were being attacked by sheep, I would help you.
Well, good to know. Thank you. I'd
at
help you
first.
too. I mean, I also don't really like animals, but
Oh
I'd
yeah, you
still help.
don't like animals. Oh, you're gonna hate this movie then.
No, not. Well, I like Life of Pets, and I hate any animal that could be kept as a pet. So
That's true.
we'll see.
I have a friend who
No,
has a bird has
okay.
a bird pet.
I'm good.
So I saw the message they were doing in the beginning of the movie because she wants to be something clearly different than what her bunny race normally is.
Hmm.
So I find that pretty interesting.
She's like the black sheep of the family. Ooh, now she's using her bunny skills to her advantage,
Right.
hopping on everybody.
Freaking hippo. Oh wait, that was a rhino, not a hippo.
I like the eyes is purple. It's cute.
Mm. This reminds me of hearing a story a few years ago about the first ever female SWAT officer
Mm-hmm.
in America. Thought that was pretty interesting. That there hasn't been one.
Yeah, sometimes it's crazy to me that how we still have like women first.
Right. Right. Yeah, that is actually really crazy. And I think about that too every other day,
Yeah,
but
it's like 2022. Like how are we still having women? Like don't get me wrong though, that's like great to have first of everything, but like how are we still having like the first woman SWAT thing? Like you're telling me after all these years that we've had SWAT teams, like a woman's never been like whatever she was, like the first person in the officer, like whatever the first was, like for something like that, we still haven't even reached that.
mm,
Crazy.
I know that voice. The Dad Bunny? I, I just can't think of the face.
You said the dad's familiar?
I have a really, really funny. It's not my joke, but it's a joke I heard on a kids' TV show way back in the day. That's super inappropriate now, but it was so funny, and it's still funny. You want to hear it?
Sure.
It doesn't sound like you want to hear it.
I don't know. Let's see.
No, no, it's funny. It's funny. It was just like a
All
silly
right.
thing where it was like a college uh like party, whatever, and this guy was like coming up to women, trying to like spit game at them, and then they're just walking away
Mm-hmm.
from him, right? So he was just like, all right, well, on to the next one. So he comes up to this one girl. He's like, hey, you want to dance with me? And she's like, excuse me, I have a taser and I'm not afraid to use it. And he's like, all right, then I'll catch you when the batteries are low.
That was actually funny.
I thought that was so
someone told
funny,
me
but I'm like, you can't say that.
if someone told me that they had a taser, like slowly walking away. Thank you.
Have you seen a taser like in person?
Can't say that I have.
It's pretty scary. I think I met some woman and she had a taser in her purse. I was like, you be careful going home. It's like it's dangerous. It's dangerous out here. And she's like, oh, I know. I'm prepared. And she pulled it out and then she turned it on. I was like,
I've like
holy crap.
no, I haven't seen a taser. No.
I've seen like a taser, which obviously is not that big of a thing. I've seen like pepper spray being used. That was
Someone
pretty
told me
funny.
that pepper spray here in Toronto is like illegal, but I'm like, I don't think so.
It
I
can't
think
be.
carrying bears, huh?
It can't be. How do people protect themselves?
That's what I'm saying. I think bear spray is illegal for us to be carrying, but
Oh
pepper
yeah, that's
spray,
yeah.
which oh my god, let me tell you a story about bear spray. So when I used to work in the mall at Forever 21, the mall that I worked at, Forever 21 was at one end where like the mall entrance door was, and then the bank, RBC, Royal Bank of Canada, was on the other side of the mall. And the fire alarm started to go off. And usually in the mornings they do fire alarm tests, but we do get the notice ahead of time, so we're very aware that it's a test, not a real one. And if it is a real one, you'd always see the security be making like an announcement, like to please evacuate. So they were making the announcement that we had to evacuate. So we, did all of our things. I took out all the customers, locked the doors, grabbed all my staff, and we went outside. And as we were going outside, we could smell something so awful. And we're like, oh my God, like it could be burning. Like maybe like, there is an actual fire or whatever the case may be.
Wow.
So we're going outside and I have to notify like all my head office. So I'm letting them know like, hey, this is the situation. They're like, well, please like keep us informed and whatnot. So after like 20, 30 minutes, I go to like the mall where like security was. I'm like, what exactly is going on? And they're like, oh, there was an incident at the bank. And I'm like, at the bank, did someone try to rob it? And then like they did a
At the
fire? Like
bank.
what exactly happened? Yeah, so that's why I made the thing because it was all the way on the other side of the mall. The bank was there. The bank was important. The incident happened at the bank.
Why is there a bank in the mall?
20, 30 minutes later, there's just a bank in the mall. We have banks in plazas too, but our bank's in the mall. Anyways, so after another 20, 30 minutes, finally get to go inside and whatnot. And then like as like customers are like walking in the mall and like hearing about what happened or whatnot, I heard that the bank tried to get robbed. And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy, whatnot. Then I come home and it's on CP24. The bank didn't try to get robbed. Someone was meeting up with somebody at the bank, like in front of the bank,
Mm-hmm.
and they were doing like an online like meet up to trade or like to buy something off of the guy. But the people that were trying to buy it off of him had no intentions of paying. They wanted to steal it off of him. So and the situation went bad and they had to use bear spray on the guy, and that what was literally reeking through the entire mall was the bear
Wow.
spray. It was so awful. Like it legit smelled like something was like burning, like a really really bad burn. It was
I
nasty.
wonder what happened to the guy. I wonder if his face is like forever scarred, or if he's like
That
blind
I don't
forever.
know. Yeah, that I don't know, but it was the most interesting thing that ever happened at the mall. Well, as
So are
I was working there.
bunnies?
So what?
Bunnies aren't small though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they are.
No, I've like
Come,
I my dog who's is a Chihuahua, which is a small dog breed. When I took her to walk like a few months ago, when it was like warm out, there was a bunny literally way bigger than her hopping around in my backyard.
well, if you're gonna compare a bunny to a chihuahua, sure, but bunnies are relatively small.
Hmm. Oh, that's Idris Alba's voice.
Yeah, I was about to say.
He's amazing. Are you also thinking how does sex work in this world?
No, definitely not the first thing that came to my mind.
Well, I would imagine that certain animals would be attracted to each other, right? They don't just date within their species, right?
Oh, she got parking duty. Um, I mean, in a word like this, I could see how that, could be a thing. Um,
I'm saying if Lola Bunny would have
yeah,
walked
I
in
can't
there
just
right now, a lot of people would try to talk to her.
Yeah, that definitely was not one of the first things or anything that came to my mind. I was ambitious. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that she's upset for doing parking duty and all that stuff, but it's kind of a thing. Got to pay your
You gotta
dues.
start from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I love how like her ears go up when she hears the thing.
So another thing I want to say too, and this is especially just from me watching Encanto, which is kind of like the newest Disney animation movie that's out, and the animation is so up to date. It's as best as it's ever been in the entire world. The animation is
Hmm.
in this movie thus far, Zootopia. It's obviously it's good. It's 3D animation, right? It's pretty standard, but even this looks dated to me.
She not just give herself a ticket. You think that this is dated? Like you think that this could have been done better?
Like I can just tell it's an older animation movie.
Yes, I could tell that too. I could see that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
looks dated.
Sorry, I was still on the fact that she gave herself a fucking parking ticket.
She's got to pay for it.
Ew.
Yeah, not with your nose.
Oh no. No, 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 no. Oh no. Oh. Oh no.
Uh oh, she's profiling. She's profiling Noor. This is literally Atlanta's police officers.
Mhm.
You think that would be adorable if a white kid said he wanted to be black when he grows up?
Um.
And he paints his face black, like a black face?
Mm,
You're like,
no, I don't think that's cute. I don't think that's cute. Oh Jesus.
what? Yeah, that's a big deal. No one can see that?
Yeah, no one can use ice cream scoopers. We just have to use our trunks.
Yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, I love the portion size of ice cream they're giving out.
Mhm. $15 for a popsicle.
What a fucking bum. I'm not spotting him 15.
Oh, that's a Big ass popsicle.
Right. What is he supposed to do with that?
How's it not melting already? Looks like it's scorching hot outside.
How's it not breaking his back? I don't know how no one can find that a little troubling.
That a fox wants to be an elephant?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And oh, how is he gonna eat the popsicle?
Yeah, how can you? The only way you can eat it is you put it on the ground. And you do that. There's just so many germs.
There's just so many things wrong with this.
We're clearly thinking about this scene too much.
Way too much. Not the fact that you know that a bunny is a police officer. Uh-huh.
I saw that a mile away.
Oh my god, the baby's driving.
It's not a
Don't
baby.
kill me.
Look at
Oh,
the
now
snow. It's a
snowing all
regular
of a
day in
sudden?
Atlanta.
What the hell? I'm deceased. This guy finessed a free popsicle and is now reselling it.
Yeah, he's a.
Oh, I
He's a
love the hustle. That's amazing.
is it a hustle? No. Why can't he just get a job?
Oh my god, don't tell me we're gonna reuse the popsicle sticks.
Why didn't you go arrest this guy? He doesn't have a permit for this shit.
I'm dead. What happened to the snow? Like, where'd they go? Timbuktu? And then came back?
I have no idea. I didn't realize how good Jason Bateman was. His voice is. Never noticed that.
The guy that's playing the fox?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I want to see that permit again. He needs
Oh,
to. She needs to run the numbers on that.
yeah.
I understand why she didn't book him.
Yeah, isn't she a cop?
Yeah, she should have booked his ass.
Hmm.
I would have ran that permit check. I would have checked that permit. There's no way that's real. I'm sure it's real. It's probably
Yeah,
like, expired or whatever.
expired. Yeah, carrots for one.
That reminds me of high school when you go into like the vending machines and you like buy chips, and literally when you open it, there's like only like 20 chips in there.
That's still the case with Lay's.
Oh yeah.
I love how the Apple phone has a carrot at the back instead of an apple. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I love it when
I think that's supposed to be a carrot.
yeah, I love it when cartoons do that. I think the funniest I've seen that was like the Simpsons, and they did like a an orange.
Aw.
At least our parents are supportive, though.
So supportive. Those walls are super thin.
Hey, I'm doing my job.
Yeah. Don't hate.
Like I remember getting my car booted once out in Atlanta. I know a lot of people were
I've
hating the
gotten
guy who
pulled
was
over.
booting it, but I was like, he's doing his job.
I've gotten pulled over twice, but I've kind of talked my way out of both tickets.
Mm.
And then I've gotten oh now she's doing something. And then one time well, I've gotten two parking tickets. Actually, I got three, but one of them my friend's mom paid because when I was at her house, her mom told me that I can park on the street, and then I woke up with a parking ticket, so her mom's like, "My bad, I'll pay it." And one of them, I went to go pay it online, but the ticket was never registered. And the other one, I got it at my aunt's house, which um, we still both don't know how we got that parking ticket. She ended up paying it because she's like, I never get tickets on the street. Like, you can park here. I've been parking at her street for like
What the
15 years,
fuck
and
is
I
that
never get
supposed
a
to
ticket.
mean?
So,
Sorry, Noor.
what is it supposed to mean?
The guy who's like, wait for the real cops.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I'm just, this is a small ass, like, town. What happened?
It's
I, like,
it's
looked away for a second.
it's a small town because they're
That was for the
mice.
mice.
Yeah, it's for the mice.
Uh huh.
I want to see a mouse. I want to see a mouse try to be a cop.
Oh my
Huh.
god, Target. I'm dead.
I see Macy's too.
This is mousy. But yeah, that donut seemed a lot bigger.
Hey, that's abusive. I don't understand what she didn't cost any of that. Again, this is going back to Marvel's Registration Act and Civil War.
How does that have to do with Marvel? Oh,
Well,
with like destroying the city?
yeah, you think about Scarlet Witch and the rest of those heroes in the beginning of the movie when they're in that whatever country trying to fight those people, and they're just literally
Yeah.
destroying half of the block.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people would blame the heroes for that. And then even if they would have let the villains just do their thing, that destruction wouldn't have happened.
It's funny. After most like Marvel movies, I like either like me or my sister will say like, like they'll be like, "Oh, we saved the city," but like the half the city is like literally flipped upside down, or like, there's so much more damage than it was from before.
Mm-hmm.
It's just funny to see that how when they say like, "Oh, we saved the city," it's like half the city's gone. But
Yeah, there's a really funny meme on Twitter that said that when it was like a picture of the Avengers together in a heroic pose, and they're like,
mhm.
"Don't worry, everyone, we saved the city." And then the next picture was the city, and it was just nothing but rubble.
Yeah.
Can't fire me.
Oh,
Besides, who wants to be a cop anyway? She should become a private investigator. She shouldn't be a cop.
that'd be good.
Yeah, I feel like that would be. I think. Well, I don't know what the story's going to unfold, but I think it would be cool to have her be a cop and she realize how corrupted it is. Which I remember when I went to college and one of my classmates was a former police officer. She did it for a few years and she said she couldn't do it anymore. Just the corruption was killing her.
Mhm. There's corrupt everywhere. There's corruption everywhere.
That's not true. Not in the ice cream industry.
Really?
No, I'm joking.
That's the card you're gonna pull.
Well, the ice cream
You know what?
industry is
The
adorable.
elephants were scooping with their trunks.
Oh, well, if you want to, no one usually goes to that ice cream shop. People literally, you see them doing this. I don't think people mind that they do it. It's just the portion size. They're not gonna ever go against that.
Can I ask a question? Why is the cheetah like a little bit on the chunky side? Not that there's anything wrong, but like cheetahs
I,
are supposed to be like lean and fast. Like
I think that's the
you
point.
need
That's the
the
point.
cheetah chunky.
I think that's the point. There's a lot of observation comedy in this movie where you have like the small town full of mice, them going through their motions, and then you have like a small bunny who's really like Godzilla size to them, doing all this stuff to their city, and then now you have like a cheetah who are known for being one of the fastest predators in the wild. This guy is just out of shape, out overweight.
Mhm. I see. Is her pen a carrot? Like, is everything a carrot?
I don't understand how you can make $200 a day and all you do is still sell popsicles outside of the street.
Mm. Eh. Oh. Have you seen Anastasia?
You mean amnesia? That's how it's pronounced.
No, Anastasia.
I know that's an old Jamie Foxx
The
joke. Yeah, I remember watching
oh,
it when I was a kid. I don't really remember much of it. I just know it's a musical.
hey,
There's some really creepy old guy with a beard and some type of bat creature.
Rasputin. That bat creature. Tell me it didn't look like the fox that came out of the stroller.
Oh
That's what it
yeah,
reminded me of.
yeah.
That's where I was going with it.
I heard that
Only
story
nice
is actually
people.
really depressing though. The story of Anastasia.
It's a real story, isn't it?
Yeah, just like
I
how
know Rasputin was real.
oh sorry, just like how
Rasputin in the new. Hmm,
Peter Pan's like a really depressing story.
Peter Pan is.
Yeah, I was thinking
Um,
about that movie today, like the live action one. People don't talk about that a lot.
there's a live action one of Anastasia.
No, Peter Pan.
Oh, I was like, where have I been? Um, the Peter Pan.
Yeah, I really
I
appreciate
have
how
seen it.
dark that film was.
Yeah. You know what's another dark movie and really, really sad? Pinocchio.
Oh, well, you know what? That just depends on which one you're talking about.
The cartoon one, when and then they have that island where they like change the children into like elephants. Like that's dark.
I never watched the original one all the way, but I do know what you're talking about. It is depressing. The Pinocchio that I grew up watching, because there's like literally 20 different versions of
Why is
films you can think of. The one that I grew up with was about this kid and his best friend live in a small town, and a carnival, or not a carnival, a circus was coming into town, and they
hmm
went to the circus and they saw all these things, and they were selling, not selling, but they were showcasing a mermaid, some type of mer creature, and all the people in the circus were like different forms of like monsters and things like that. And the one thing that stuck with me was this girl. She was like a cat woman, and I don't know. She always stuck with me, even to this day. I'll never forget her. But yeah, it was a depressing story because the kid ended up turning into a wood, like a tree, and they carved him out and they made him Pinocchio.
I've never seen or heard that version of Pinocchio.
Yeah, it's really creepy, and it's live action. It's live action.
Mm.
I felt like the catalyst is a little bit weak for this movie, but it's still it's whatever.
The what is? Sorry, I was just watching this slop. The what is? What'd you say?
I said the catalyst. So in any type of story, you have your there are different beats to a story that kind of makes a story as a whole. So the first beat is like the ordinary world where the character lives in, where nothing much is happening. You're just seeing their day to day life and just seeing who they are as a person. And then
Mm-hmm.
from that, you have your inciting incident where something happens and it forces the hero of the story to make a call to action, either to make a call to action or to not have the call to action. But eventually, they will be a part of that action of the story. and then after that is the catalyst of what happens after that inciting incident that has now set a new, I guess, how can I say this? It kind of
Tone for
set
the movie.
yeah, it kind of sets a whole new playground for the movie and what's going to happen. So clearly, the catalyst, the inciting incident, was her chasing that weasel who got the thing, right? That was a call to action. So she did it. And because of that happened, she got in trouble with her boss and all this stuff. And someone came into her asking if she would take a job. She took the job, and now that's the catalyst of the whole movie, finding this kid.
Mm.
I don't understand how they're that slow.
It's quite funny. This is very robotic. It just seems very robotic.
Yeah, that's weird. That was pretty funny.
Oh, Priscilla.
Well,
I named the
I
ghost in
guess
my house
their
Priscilla.
species has to have a job too. If they're good at it, they're just good at it, I guess. But they're really slow.
Mm-hmm. Like, I get it, sloths are slow, but like this is just very overly like dramatic right now.
Right. It's a lot of observation comedy. I wonder if they have sex slow. I don't know why I keep thinking of sex
Yeah.
during this movie.
We're watching a animated movie on animals, and all you're thinking about is sex.
That's all
It's
animals are there
like,
for, to
oh,
exist, to procreate and to eat.
certain animals.
No, all animals.
Well, I mean, certain animals for us, but then yeah, certain animals for other animals.
Wait, us? What are you talking about? I don't Wait, what? Is there something you want to tell us, Noor?
Well, you were saying that animals procreate for them to exist, which is true. Like chickens, cows, like those are animals that they exist for us, and then other animals exist for other animals.
Yeah. Yeah, the circle of life.
Yes. Where's the snow coming from? Like, how is it one part of the city has snow and one doesn't? What?
What are you talking about? That's Atlanta every day. She's pretty shit herself. You see how she just bends the law like that?
Hmm. That's she's smart. No, the iPhone camera or flashlight.
iPhone cameras make the worst flashlights.
Yeah, it comes in handy every now and then, but when you actually need, like, like the flashlight, no, it sucks.
I guess it just depends. Sometimes if I'm looking for something in my room, and if I even with my lights, they can be kind of dim. I turn on my iPhone light and I'm like looking for something, which I
Mm.
don't know if it helps or not, but I just do it. This movie would be a lot better if it was a noir.
Like black and white.
Not necessarily black and white. I mean, it could be like a neo noir where it has color. But I think if it would just play more towards like just if it was just more like at night, if it was more like heavy shadows, and I think if the story would have changed of
Hmm.
her maybe not being, maybe wanting to be, well, maybe her wanting to be a police officer, but since she couldn't do that, she would have to be a private detective.
Oh, good heavens! They even bring the mafia in. Ah, I'm sorry.
That was a little underwhelming.
A little, but it was also hilarious. I legit thought the big polar bear was him. Who's who's this? Whose voice is this?
Who knows? Small world.
How convenient. Ash is
Yeah.
about to get ice.
Yeah, that was really convenient.
Like life saving convenient. Bless you. I don't think there's a point to a spoon at this point. Just lick the.
That's what she said.
Mm.
Hmm. I don't want to say anything because sometimes I could be wrong, but I think I know what happens in this movie. I think I know what this is.
What is it?
So
Let your prediction. Tell me your prediction.
there's a book about Philip Marlowe. Do you know who Philip Marlowe is?
No.
Philip Marlowe is a fictional character and is known as one of the best ever uh, noir characters ever. He's like a private detective, you know, drinks, all that stuff. What a noir character is,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the most famous story of him is about a woman reporting that her brother is missing, and to find clues that he's been kidnapped, this and that and the third. But then in reality, none of that's really happened, and it's all like an inside job. So if I were to make a prediction, I'm thinking, and I'm probably way off wrong with this. I'm thinking that whoever is missing, they're not missing, and I think they're the crime boss of this movie.
Okay.
I'm probably way wrong with it. I'm way off. That's literally you, Noor, when I touch one of your crystals.
Well, he just kind of like turned into the animal that he actually is.
Right. Which is a bit weird.
Which is probably what happened with the otter.
But why would an
That's
otter?
probably in the damn popsicle.
But it doesn't matter. Then why wouldn't a cheetah turn that way? Or a bull, right? When a bull sees red?
No, but it's probably something that they ate.
It has what?
Because remember, the reason why the fox. I'm just thinking that maybe they're turning that way because of something that they ate.
Hang on. Let me make sure I'm hearing you
Because, like,
correctly. It's because of the what?
I'm thinking that maybe the otter went crazy because it was something that it ate. And
Oh,
maybe
it
it's the
ate.
same thing with Jaguar right now. It ate something, and the only thing that I could think that they possibly could have ate was the popsicle because that's the only thing it ever showed them eat.
It ate? No. I'm not
But then,
buying that.
no.
Nah. I don't like this scene.
Just give me very Tarzan vibes.
It's giving me like, let's just throw some action in here.
The Jaguar's gone.
Why would he still be there? That's true. She did profile the fox earlier. It hasn't been 2 days yet, has it?
That's the fastest 2 days.
Right. Fuck. Oh, excuse my language. Forget this guy. I was about to go off. Excuse me. Yeah. How the wow, what? No way
Okay,
it's been two
thank you.
days. Fuck out of here.
Why didn't the rabbit just say like, "Hello, I still have 10 hours left, or however many hours
I don't
left"?
understand why the rabbit is still in this police department. Like, fuck them. Just do your own thing. I don't like that. And I don't like her character.
Har, har.
You know what I don't get? I don't understand why this film, or I guess the world that they live in, they perpetuate that foxes. Or hang on, let me listen to this. This looks important. Look at that zebra. That's totally me. I thought they were gonna do something else to them.
Mm.
See, I bet you're thinking now, how do these animals procreate with different species?
I'm kind of thinking like, what if those who end up falling in love, and then the thought of that did come to my mind.
Then they're gonna make fox dabbits, fox abbots. I don't. Okay, there's so much. There's so much I have to say about this movie, but I'm gonna wait for it. So the thing I was originally gonna say was I don't understand how the world that these characters live in can perpetuate that a fox is one of the most like treacherous, lying, deceitful animal in the kingdom. I wonder what did they think
When
about.
there's a lion right there.
You said a lion.
Yeah, there's a lion right there. Like how are they able to let a lion run loose into the city, but a fox is untrustworthy?
Right, right. So yeah, so I want to know what did they think of like some of the other animals in the animal kingdom that are like kind of have bad reps, like raccoons. I wonder what they think of raccoons. You
Oh my
can't tell me a
god,
raccoon's
I'm
more
not thinking about
trustworthy
a
than a
raccoon.
fox.
No, just, there was was it maybe like 2017, 2018. We had a raccoon fiasco in like Toronto. Like there was just an over amount of raccoons all over the city, and like I was not joking. Like they were not joking because I remember I was driving in broad daylight and all I saw was raccoons just like crossing the street. And if you see a raccoon out in the daytime, there's something wrong with it. It was just it was just horrible.
They're planning a rebellion against Toronto.
Probably. There's still 45 minutes left of this movie. Lord have
Why?
mercy.
Why is there so long?
I don't know.
This movie should literally have like 30 minutes left.
Well, maybe there is 30 minutes left, and the other like 15 is
A musical scene.
credits. No, it's credits.
If they had a Batmobile, they would be able to track them just from the tire tracks. But that's just me playing Batman Arkham Knight 20 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So here's another problem. Well, maybe I should hold off on this. And I hate having these thoughts of movies, like me thinking of like just every little thing about a movie. And I mostly think of them because I work on movies. I make them and all that good stuff. But it's just hard not to. Which is what I said in my last podcast. If you ever work in the film industry or do any type of film work or anything like that, watching movies, watching TV shows, it like ruins it for you because you see every little detail that you wouldn't have seen otherwise.
Of course. Speaking of movies, so like obviously like I know like a lot of films are filmed here in Toronto, and same with TV shows. And I saw on the news today that they are thinking of building like a mock city, or like not city, like a little mock town set kind of thing in Pickering, which is like no, it's about 30 minutes away from where I live. I'm like heart of Toronto, where it's literally going to be used as like movie sets, and like like productions can like rent it out and stuff like that, as opposed to like actually using like let's say the streets or like people's houses. Because I know a lot of films that like get filmed here too, like in the north, or like out of like major city of like Toronto, like outside of Toronto, in the smaller towns, they like to use people's like houses like in front of it, or like inside of it, or like the little town and stuff like that. But they want to build something like that for film and like TV shows to be able to rent it out. And they were showing like the plans and like the idea and like the map, and I thought it was really cool. I was like, that seems pretty interesting, and the fact that it's only about 30 minutes away from me is actually pretty cool too.
Yeah. Well, you say that until they start filming, and then they start shutting things down.
They said that it wouldn't be ready until like 2026, so it's like not another like what is it, 4 years from now? So quite a while. But see, their eyes are all yellow, like a golden yellow, like they've literally gone mad. It's either they've injected something, ate something.
Again with this eat something theory.
Because like otters don't attack like that. Oh wow! Second day on the job, and she found the 14 people.
Yeah, and that was another problem I had, but I was gonna wait till the end. How fucking incompetent is this goddamn police department that they couldn't solve this?
That's the mayor. Is that the mayor?
It's somebody. Oh, that's J.K. Simmons. I can hear his voice.
How is an otter a predator? Like to what? Fish? Oh my god.
Talk about parents ex
Bad
machina.
timing. That's a big toilet to hold a fox.
Okay, I think I answered my own question on why this police department is so incompetent.
Did they play apps?
That's true. Shut up. I don't know how she's so naive.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
And yet she still has fox spray on her hip.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would he join the police force after that?
Like, would they even let a fox join in general? Foxes are seen as untrustworthy predators,
That's like
even
me
though, like,
in the movie industry, and then Noor, you would come up to me and say, "Hey, the actress would look better if you put more shadows on her face." I was like, "Okay, wow, she looks great. Hey, Noor, you should join the movie industry."
I still would like to know how an otter is a predator.
I don't understand why no one media trained her for this. And wait, an otter can be a predator. Hold on, let me Google this.
So what? Fish?
An otter eats more than fish, right?
I don't know. I'm just really confused with how an otter is considered a predator.
Let's see. How is an otter a predator? It says an otter is a predator because whatever they can catch and overpower. They are smart, agile, smart predators. They do eat a lot of amphibians and fish, but they also take out sizable beavers, raccoons, plus snapping turtles, snakes, and small gators. Of course, gators are also eat otters, so it goes both ways.
Uh-huh. I do not think of an otter as a predator.
I think anything can be a predator. If you want to look at it. I mean, snapping turtles have a history of killing
Yeah.
humans, so snapping turtles are a predator
Mm.
technically. Oh, you are a predator. The answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's like if I was bitten by a zombie,
Mm.
but I haven't had the effects yet, but I was still bitten. Would you want me near you?
Mm.
What is he mad about?
Well, basically, she was just saying that how there could be a biological component in the animals that are reverting them into their savage ways, and they happen to just be predators. And because he is considered a predator, he was just upset that it could possibly happen to him. I'm guessing. This Gazelle character, this pop star is really random.
Hmm.
And Shakira being the voice is even more random.
Wait, who?
Shakira.
Oh, I had a college professor who went on a date with Shakira. He said it was awful.
Okay, she's dating a amazing soccer player, and they have cute babies.
What the fuck is this lady talking about? What does that have to do with predators? Oh, at first I was gonna say that's
I
awful that they're doing that, but you should be fired because you're just bad at your job.
that too.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's not fired. He's just in a different department.
But this bull isn't considered a predator.
Who? The bull? Yeah, I would imagine.
The bull, yeah,
Listen, if you are a carnivore, even an omnivore, you're a predator.
a predator, yeah.
If you eat meat, you are a predator. Again with this good cop stuff. That was a bit on the nose.
She just solved a case that's been going on for 2 weeks, and she's getting all this praise, and now she wants to quit.
This should have happened in the first 30 minutes of the movie. And now she's becoming a private detective. I feel like that should have been it. And by the way, I was completely wrong with my guess of the movie.
All good.
What is she doing? Be a private detective.
She looks miserable. Like, why would you quit something that you actually liked doing to become miserable?
Yeah, or at least join a work of field where you can still put that training that you went through, all that academy training, schooling that she's been through. You can still use that.
Yeah.
You know what? This reminds me of a tweet. Was it a tweet or something? Probably on Instagram or whatever. That Young Thug said, he was like, "If you're tired of starting over, of always starting over in your life, then stop quitting."
Mhm.
Oh, they about to hook up. You can sense it too, right?
Oh,
What?
I said some of the other.
Wait, what? Oh God.
Ate one. It was something they ate.
I'm still
Would
not
you look
I'm
at
still not
that?
convinced. I will not admit
Oh,
that Noor is right.
oh, would
Impossible.
you look at that?
Wait, the flowers?
They're eating the flowers.
Who's putting flowers in predators' food? They wouldn't eat that. Wait, what is she doing? Why isn't she going to the
Because when
police
she went to
department?
Nick,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, who cares about Nick? Forgive what? What is she apologizing for? What mistake did you make?
So in the press conference, when she was just saying that it was something in their DNA that's making them go like savage.
Well, she ain't wrong.
But I also don't understand. That's what I was about to say. She isn't wrong. Like obviously predators were savage.
Nick, take your sensitive ass to school or somewhere else. Fuck you, Nick.
Yeah.
I'd rather see her hook up with the childhood bully than Nick.
No, I'd rather see Nick.
No. Meowana? You
I'm
saw that?
dead. I'm dead. Yeah. That escalated fast.
You say he's the opposite of friendly. He's unfriendly.
Mm-hmm.
This would have been a good plot twist if it was originally who was kidnapped and he was making all this.
And who was kidnapped?
You know, that ferret, or what was it? An otter. That otter?
Oh, the otter.
Yeah.
Okay, so they made the flowers into a drink, or at least into a liquid.
Mm-hmm.
This is giving me Breaking Bad vibes.
Really? I'm getting Golden Girls.
Oh. So they put them in like these little blue things. In a little. Oh, so they're not eating it.
Good, thank God.
Okay, I was
I couldn't admit
relatively
that
a
you were
lot
right.
closer
I
than
couldn't admit
you,
it.
but I was a lot closer than you.
No, not even close. I think
Um,
I'm the one who's
oh
right.
no.
Let's see who he's working with. If he's maybe being hired by the otter that he hit. I don't like Nick.
These sheep.
Use her pepper spray.
The fox spray.
Oh, you think he died? You think that ram died? Oh.
Oh god.
Wait, what?
Oh god.
How is that happening? Now they're all gonna
There's a lot
die.
going on. Did they get the briefcase with the evidence?
What an idiot.
And pissed off some people. Oh wow.
They also have those rams they can just arrest.
Remember, she quit being a police officer. She can't actually arrest one.
You can make a citizen arrest, which she couldn't, but she could.
She couldn't, but she could.
Yeah, people do it all the time when they're completely in the wrong. I'm trying to make a citizen arrest.
Wait. Oh, good heavens.
I don't like that. That's not even a plot twist, honestly. How did that happen?
The horn of the thing.
She didn't see it? This would be so much better if it was like maybe her like the police department head or again the otter or the otter. The person who you sworn to go find. Not this lady. We barely know her. Wait, what? What is her reasoning for doing this?
Her reason was that the population is like 90% prey, and wouldn't it be nice to like outnumber the like step up against the predators?
Isn't that the
But
dumbest
making them go
fucking-
crazy and savage is the wrong way to do it.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, you're literally not only killing the predators, but you're literally destroying half of your workforce. Am I the only one that doesn't like the turn that this story just made? Yeah, that's so stupid. Well, but why? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, there's a blueberry inside there. Oh, that was amazing.
It was? I didn't like that at all. I don't like this. This is really rushed. It's really rushed right now for this ending, and that's because this movie's way too long than what it should be.
Yeah. This movie should have been like an hour and like 20 minutes.
Yeah, would a hidden antagonist throughout the whole movie, and to figure out who the antagonist is, it's just some random person, or not necessarily random, but just someone who we. It was just very underwhelming who the antagonist was in this movie.
Mm.
My goodness. I don't understand why
Oh.
he's being a cop. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh.
I really don't like this duo.
It's like a huge ass car for a bunny. Oh.
Why can't this movie just end?
What? She made this song for this.
So that's Shakira?
That's her voice, yeah.
Okay, now the movie's over. Brian Howard. That's one of
I'm
the
not listening to
directors
this.
for Encanto.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I did not know that.
Why are there
That was a
12? Why is there
very
13
interesting
minutes
movie.
left?
Oh, I stopped. I'm not watching it. I do not need to see animal version of Shakira shaking her ass.
Well, I do. No, I'm joking. That's why I
Oh
picked this
God, those are
movie.
interesting movies.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about it.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Yeah. So final thoughts. Since we were both not interested to watch this movie, what did you think of it?
I could have gone my whole life not watching it and been completely fine.
I agree.
like it didn't add anything to me. It didn't teach me anything new. It didn't spark any inspiration for anything. Like it didn't do anything for me, you know? And I definitely agree with what you said towards the end where this movie was unnecessarily long and especially for animated movies, for the target being, you know, the younger age group. An hour and 49 minutes is way too long for this. Like
Yeah, what
I
is
was like losing interest. I was losing interest, and it was just the speed of the movie was very, very weird. Started out way too slow, and then decided to put the foot on the gas pedal and just zoom all the way to the freaking end.
right? Yeah, it's okay, so what would you give it then on a scale of 1 to 10?
Like a 5.
A 5? I don't know if I
Yeah,
would give it a 5, maybe. I can see how you
like
came
as
to
an
that
adult
conclusion.
watching this, because okay, if I was rating this, let's say, and I was a kid and I was younger, maybe I'd rate it a little bit higher because there's animals, there's talking animals, and it's like you know there's color, and it just looks like fun.
Right.
But as an adult, it just looks stupid. So like a 5 out of 10.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Okay.
Like the concept of having like a town where like predators and prey can live together harmoniously and happy, cute. Like the only
Right.
thing I give it.
Right. So, well, my thoughts on the movie, and this goes back to how I truly feel about 3D animation movies today. You don't really know what you're getting from them unless you watch them entirely, which is, you know, and it's hard to decipher which 3D animation movie is for you because they technically all have good morals that you would want people to have instilled into them, but sometimes you just don't want to hear those stories. Zootopia has. I'm happy that it shed a light towards people who feel like they can't go to certain careers or can't do certain things in their life because maybe from where they're from or the color of their skin or whatnot. And I'm happy that this film decided that, hey, we're going to talk about this. This should be an issue that we should all have a discussion about. I think that's pretty cool. Ultimately, this movie, well, clearly this movie is not for me. I don't think this movie was made for me. But ultimately, I don't see the point of this movie. I don't really see why it was made. I don't think a movie like this needed to be an animation movie. I get maybe you're trying to discuss racism, classism to children and have them try to understand it in a more
Yes,
simplistic way, but at the same time,
it just wasn't the right place to do it.
right. And again, that goes to 3D animation movies. You don't know what you're going to get for them. You don't know the quality, you don't know anything until you watch them fully. Um,
Hmm.
which is just another reason why these movies completely turn me off from just watching them. The animation of Zootopia, I'm sure at the
Um,
time of 2016, I'm sure it was amazing or whatever, but I mean, and it still looks cool, don't get me wrong, but I can tell this is outdated. Like if you watch this and then you watch
hmm.
Encanto, completely different animations, completely
Yeah,
different. Um, I thought the
Encanto
characters.
was just.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say like one thing because I did say Zootopia was like very colorful. Encanto was really bright and colorful, and it just looked more like happy, like in animation sense. That was one thing that I liked about Encanto a lot better.
Right. Zootopia is basically what you would get from like the Wizard of Oz if it was remastered today and how colorful it actually was meant to be. And then Encanto is actually the version of Wizard of Oz that has been remade, a whole new cast, a whole new director, a whole new color
Hmm.
palette in
Yeah.
2022. So,
Yeah.
but I would also say Zootopia and Encanto, same movie, exactly the same movie. They would give you the same feeling, not necessarily the same plot per se, but one being about a Colombian family and the other one being about a bunny rabbit dealing with classism, but they're practically the same movie. Um,
Yeah.
Another thing is to as I have a brain fire. I was gonna say the characters. The characters in Zootopia. I don't think there's one character I liked in this movie. I thought, and then again, I understand these characters just exist so purposely just to kind of teach kids the overall message. But at the same time, I feel like this movie would have been so much better as like a classic noir story. Like just having it be black and white. It could still be like kitty and whatnot, but just black, not necessarily black and white, but just more shadows, more night scenes, more her being a private investigator, and then have it be like a real mystery, like a real story. I thought in the beginning of the movie, or I guess 30 minutes in, we were kind of like, oh, okay, now she's finally gonna get into this mystery of the kidnapping. There's like a whole big mystery, but there wasn't really a mystery at all. Like they found the missing people like really easy, like insanely
Mhm.
easy. It took
Yeah, especially like because sorry.
no, go ahead.
Oh, like because the guy gave her what 48 hours, right? And then at the 10-hour mark, he was trying to like fire her, and like right after that, it was like boom, let's like look at the cameras and see where they're going, and
Yeah.
they found them. Like it took like less than like 5 minutes from after when she was about to get her ass fired that she found the
Right.
place.
Right. Yeah. So I would just personally, I would like to see this movie have just a tad bit more realism. Again, I know it's an animated movie. This movie's for kids. It's not really supposed to have that, but I just think it would have served the movie a lot better to have, one, to have a better antagonist. That's first and foremost. I can honestly say there's probably not an antagonist in this movie because I feel like the movie was written to be a certain way, and then when the movie figured out that okay, this is a little bit too long of a runtime, we have to rush and get this movie over. Let's just pick a random character from a hat and then make him the antagonist because they literally could have had anybody be the antagonist because it was just
Hmm.
a random reveal of who it could have been. And if that was the case, then it would have been a little bit more impactful if it was her commanding officer who was the antagonist, or maybe even the otter herself, or maybe the otter's wife, or whatever. Or better
Yeah,
yet,
if it was someone within the police force.
police force, sure, that would
I
have been
think if it
great.
was someone in the police first, yeah, it would have been like, oh, okay.
Yeah, police force would have been
The
great.
otter would have been interesting.
Yeah, the otter would have been interesting. Or I would say the bully from the beginning. I think that would have been fun. No, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Oh, sometimes I'm like, I shouldn't cuss. I shouldn't cuss. Fuck this Nick character. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. I don't like his character. I don't like. His little sob story. He can go home with that. They should have made the bully, that fox from the very beginning who bullied her. That should have been Nick.
The one doing, yeah. But to be quite honest, at the beginning, I thought that it was Nick, right? Because like it kind of had like the same like fur for like the fox, so I thought it was, and like, and that's how like the connection with the bully at the beginning was, because for the longest time, like throughout the movie, I'm like, what was the point of her being bullied at the beginning by that fox?
Right.
It
Right.
really didn't make any sense to me.
I
If
guess
if that character was Nick, that would have been actually pretty interesting.
right. I guess the point of it was um to not be a Karen
Except for me,
towards foxes. Basically, I don't know. It was, yeah. I feel like the first 6 minutes of the movie was basically pointless with that intro to say that this
yeah,
fox is a bully and she has this type of prejudice towards foxes now. But in really, she kind of grew out of that when she came into the police force.
yeah. The movie should have just started with her like starting at the police force,
Right.
and they could have added all of that stuff in like a flashback, like, and make it like 30 seconds or like stuff like that, you know. But they wasted like 6 minutes or whatever minutes at the beginning.
Yeah, and now that I think about this, because I know did Lin Miranda, did he make this movie too? I think he did. No, wait, was it? I think he did because I think he did
I
Zootopia.
don't know.
He's one of the
I don't know.
creators of Encanto too. He does like all the musical stuff, and he did it for Moana. I keep want to call that movie Mona for whatever reason. But
Have you seen Moana?
no, I haven't. It was too boring. I tried to watch a little bit of it.
Hmm.
It was really boring. But I feel that Zootopia, whoever wrote this movie, needs to. I feel like this movie is still in its second draft in terms of writing. And for anyone who's not a writer, or like screenwriter or any type of writer at all, anyone will tell you that from your very first draft to your second draft, those are basically like practically the same drafts. It's not going to be until like your 10th or 12th draft towards you're really trying to shape something, uh, to shape I don't know, a written material into something. I feel like this movie wasn't finished in terms of its writing.
Hmm.
A lot of stuff left on the cutting board floor.
I'm, as you said, that this movie did have um like a few good messages to be teaching, like the younger generation. But I am comparing it to one of like my favorite, and I can't say it's like one of my favorite, but one of the more better animated movies that I've seen, Inside Out. Like I think that movie was done really, really well, and it touched on, how depression works and your like emotions and like what you could be feeling and stuff like that. And I thought that that was done really, really well. And, if someone doesn't really understand depression, they could watch that movie and get a better idea of what it is, or just in general to just get a different kind of understanding or a better understanding of it. But Zootopia didn't really give me that, like, like the lessons, with like the racism or the
Mm-hmm.
prejudice and stuff like that. It didn't give me like that impactfulness compared to Inside Out. And Inside Out came out a year like earlier. It came out in 2015, so it's even older than Zootopia.
Right. You're
But
absolutely
they did
right.
it so well. It was just it was done so well. I actually googled what year it came out because
You're
I don't know
absolutely
off
right,
the top of
Noor.
my
And
head.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to explain to you in film terms why you feel that way. So there
Mhm.
comes a point in time in a movies, their durations are, it's like a science to it, how long a certain movie is supposed to be. And to that, there's even genres, like certain genres you don't go over a certain amount of time, which is like romantic comedies, you normally
Mhm.
see them for like an hour 30. Action movies, depending on what type of action movies you are, maybe they're a little bit under or maybe a slight bit over. For dramatic movies, mystery movies, they're like way over an hour 30 and stuff like that. So when you have a movie and you're hitting all these beats, like I kind of said earlier in the podcast, where you have your exciting incident to your catalyst to the rising action, the conflict of the thing. Once you hit the conflict and you kind of hit that resolution mark where the character is understanding of everything that they've been through, that this is a test and they're going to change either for better or for worse throughout the course of the film. Once you hit that mark, you have about 20 to 25 minutes to wrap up whatever film or whatever story this is trying to tell. Because the moment you go over that mark, that feeling that the audience has about that journey that they just experienced with the character will start to dissipate after
Mhm.
every second. So when someone says a movie
Mhm.
is too long or its runtime is way too over than what it should be, then 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, whoever said that, they probably feel a bit different towards that protagonist and who went on that journey in the movie.
I did not know that.
Right. So just like what you said with Inside Out, I just looked this up, is 95 minutes, which is just slightly over an hour 30. Slightly over.
Yeah, slightly.
Zootopia
But like,
ran for, let's see, well, it was like an hour and 40, right?
well, the 13 minutes at the end was like the credits,
Okay,
so
that's
I
true.
think it would be just about the same. But still, like Inside Out was just done a lot better.
Wait a second. This is saying it's 108 minutes. Yeah, that's way too long. What the hell?
Oh, so it's about like what, 10 minutes more?
Yeah,
13 minutes more.
Yeah. But even then, that's still too much. And there's so much more in this movie that just didn't listen. I don't think anyone's ever going to argue the moral message that this movie is trying to say, right? That's fine. That's great. That's dandy. But this shouldn't have been made into a film. If anything, Disney loves making little shorts about films like this, having little meaningful messages in about 2 to 10 minutes. This should have been a short, not an actual feature-length film. It kind of makes me think that the people who make these movies, the people who have so much money that they're like, hey, you got an idea? Oh, that sounds like kind of cool. Yeah, let's make something of this. Those people shouldn't be in power, and those people shouldn't be making movies at all. If that makes sense.
No, it does. It does. Yeah. So what's your final rating? I gave it a 5 out of 10, and I still stand by it.
I didn't know. Zootopia made $1 billion out of a $150 million budget. It's really impressive.
Jesus.
Yeah. That money didn't come from me, though.
Neither.
Yeah. Okay, so my overall score for Zootopia on a scale of 1 to 10, this is so tough. Maybe I would give it a 5 too. Either a 5 or a 4. And it's not much to do with, well, I mean, I just kind of ragged on about the script and the characters and stuff like that. But it has less to do with that and just more about this movie just has no purpose of being made, like, at all. It's kind of like someone who just started a Twitter and they made a tweet for the first time and then they just never get back on Twitter ever again. And that tweet still exists and it's just in that realm of stuff, right? But it's like that tweet should have never even been made to exist in all of this. Because I think people still would have gotten the message through other means, just not this. It's almost, you know what this is? And you can relate to this, Noor. This is like working a 9-to-5 job. This is like working one of those jobs where your boss says, hey, there's a meeting. You all have to come to this meeting because we're all going to talk. But deep down, everyone knows that meeting could have just been an email.
1,000%.
Exactly.
That's what this movie is. I was like mid-yawn when I was saying that. No, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to give it a 4 just from the fact that this movie should be an email and not a movie. So, yeah. Well, so with that said, thank you, Noor, for being a part of this podcast.
Oh, anytime. I can cross Zootopia off my list. No, I'm joking. It never was.
Yeah. And I will let you know, you've had so many episodes on this podcast. I will definitely release this one next week. So you will finally be on the podcast.
And at the beginning, I said that I'm back by popular demand, and this will be the first one that you drop.
Well, you were canceled. That's why.
I definitely was not canceled.
That's going to be the title for the video. Was Noor really canceled? We get to the bottom of this story at 11. Yeah. So, Starfighters, that was the full podcast. If you're listening to this on YouTube, comment below. Tell us, what did you think about Zootopia? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are we totally wrong about how we felt about the movie? Please let me know. Please let Noor know that she is wrong about how she feels about this movie. And if you're listening to this on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, please leave a review and let us know what you think. But until then, victory or death, Starfighters.
Greetings, Starfighter.